Got it. Thank you, Paige. We'll just take this because it helps us with institutional memory. Did I miss anybody on the intros? If I did, I'm sorry. Speak now. All right, if we see other folks pop in, we'll do a quick intro. So Juneteenth is how many days away? Do we have a countdown going on? 8 weeks or something like that? 9 weeks? So we got a lot of things going on throughout the region. We have Westchester, Southern Chester County, Coatesville, and Phoenixville represented on this call. Can we start in the middle of the county to see what's going on? Carol, Cookie, would that be okay? I've got with Samantha, Carol, Cookie, Edwina, Westchester. Is that all right?
Sure.
Cookie and Carol, can you unmute and that way we can share?
Believe Carol has most of the slides or what have you.
You know
or
what?
you have
So
them?
what I kind of have in, we'll share screen with whoever you want. But we were trying to have Lily update what's we have and are trying to gather on the website. Can you all see the screen that says Juneteenth Culture Builds Community? Is
Yes.
that sharing okay?
Yes.
So as you're sending us the information, Lily's updating it onto the Culture ChesCo, and it's in progress. We change it every single day when you send us stuff. And the aim is to have a centralized place throughout Chester County where people can learn more and see what's going on in your region. And then we want to tie it back to you, as well as to the Voices Underground in Pennsylvania tourism. So it's a very straightforward, what is Juneteenth wise and important, and we're working on more resources, but we're also working on sending folks to the good resources that are already out there. Like with, so anything you think we should put on the website, send to Lily and we'll keep improving it. But there's a quick overview. And then when we get schedules, we update it on the Google Calendar, but the easiest way to read it is right here. So Carol and Cookie for the Juneteenth Westchester group. What we put on is some of the information on who's on the planning committee and the event schedule from, this morning's meeting. So there you go. You want to speak to it?
Carol, you want to go ahead?
Sure. So our events thus far basically began actually yesterday with a message in the material, journeying towards freedom, library workshops. We've been holding these workshops and exploring the, yesterday was verse 1. We're exploring the rich history of Juneteenth, the quilting customs of African Americans, and the Underground Railroad, and their use of these quilts in journeying towards freedom. And basically what the participants have been doing is they're encouraged and taught to make a fabric quilt that will share their history. And at the end, the master quilters who are helping to run the workshops will take all of those patches and put them together, quilt them together to create a mosaic of all the participants and their journey towards freedom, just keeping within the theme. All right. We have an event, like I said, last night, and we have another one on April the 20th and another on April 27th. And we have one last one in June. And at the end of that, again, like I said before, we'll be creating this huge mosaic quilt that will be on display in the library. And it can go from library to library to library, or it can also be displayed at our Juneteenth Freedom Festival, which will be held on June the 19th. On the 14th, we're having From Whence We Came. It's Finding Black Ancestors in the Historical Records. And that's a virtual event that'll be taking place from 7 to 8 p.m. And we'll have more information about that as it comes out. And then
I want to stop you. If other libraries want to get involved in the message and the material, is there still time?
Our bandwidth for the quilters that we have in place right now are already designated for the Hankin branch and also for the Exton branch. We don't have the bandwidth to do it at other libraries. However, we do have a lesson plan that we can share with those libraries they
Oh.
can try to do it within their own, using their own manpower. So that's
So
something.
your bandwidth is people who quilt and who know the story of
Yes,
Juneteenth who, in African American
absolutely.
history. That's your special bandwidth.
Absolutely. That's the bandwidth, okay? And
Okay.
if people had come on, like when we first pitched it to the libraries, we would have probably had more quilters to be assigned to different libraries. But at this state, we don't, okay? But that's not to say that we can do it again next year. And hopefully people will get in touch with us earlier so we can plan accordingly.
Nice.
Okay.
Thank
Again, I already stated about the from whence we came, the ancestral records. That's supposed to be really good. I'm excited about that. And then we have the African American Quilting Art Show. It's going to take place at the Chester County Art Association on June the 15th. And there will be a reception and a discussion, and the displays. The quilt by African American quilters will be on display at the Art Association from June the 15th through June the 20th. Okay. And then, of course, we have the history walking tours, and we're working on the name of that, but basically it's to focus and highlight the African American experience in Westchester. And so on June 15th and June 16th, we got walking tours at 5:30 and 6 p.m. And on June 17th and 18th, we have walking tours at 11 o'clock and 11:30. On Sunday, June the 18th, which is also Father's Day, we're going to encourage the history of Juneteenth being shared within all of the congregations and religious organizations in Westchester. And hopefully they will be sharing that message and promoting the attendance to the Juneteenth events in Westchester. So hopefully the pastors will be able to incorporate the message around Father's Day and tying it to the importance of Freedom Day and journeying towards freedom. Okay. We also sent out a What is Juneteenth talking points link to all of our committee members, to all of the religious organizations in Chester County, not Chester County, but in Westchester, so that they would know what Juneteenth is all about, because it's all about teaching and understanding the importance of Juneteenth. All right. On Juneteenth itself, on Monday the 19th, we're having the Westchester NAACP flag recognition ceremony and Juneteenth Freedom Festival at the Charles A. Melton Center, which is located at 501 East Minor Street. During that morning exercise, we're going to be, of course, like I said, recognizing the Juneteenth flag. We have the reading of the Emancipation Proclamation. We will be awarding awards and financial awards, and also NAACP scholarship memberships to recipients who won the art and poetry contests at that time. The 20 Men Project will be on display on June the 19th at the Milton Center. We're going to have a movie aspect in the afternoon, and it's going to be featuring, of course, a Black movie that will be encouraging and uplifting. Right now, we are looking at different movies to share. And then in the afternoon, we have the kickoff and welcome to the afternoon. We'll have a Juneteenth Unity Day choir. We'll have scavenger hunts. We'll have family-friendly large group games, Black trivia. We'll have food trucks. We'll have vendors there. And we'll have family-friendly large group dances.
You're excited about that.
Old school bop challenges. And then we'll have the Milton Center dance team performance, but also we'll have our local Westchester dance work performance. But in addition to that, while they're performing, they're going to be teaching us some dances that are traditionally African. We will have a drum circle that will bring everyone together to culminate the end of the activity, where we will be reading the Juneteenth proclamation and have a benediction. And that's where Westchester is currently. So I would ask that everyone, if you have time now, to sign up for those library workshops.
Yeah.
The links will be or are available on, are they available, Karen, on the calendar?
If they're not available this very second, they will be available as after this meeting. And the
Yeah.
links are on the calendar. They're on
Yes,
the
that's
website. You just gotta
wonderful.
make
So
a
all you
copy.
have to do is click on those links. It will take you to register for the various message in the material library workshops. So we've been working together with the community partners to create a wonderful Juneteenth experience. And that's all I have to say, I believe. Did I miss anything, Cookie?
No, you got it.
Okay, cool.
Can you talk about, I know that some of the different communities have been trying to reach out to the religious organizations. Can you
Mhm.
talk about the outreach that has happened in Westchester and how you're doing it and what the successes and challenges are?
Okay. Well, basically what we have in Westchester is a for the African American churches, we have something called a ministerial alliance. So we partnered with the chair of the Ministerial Alliance for the Black churches in Westchester, and we brought them on board as one of our partners for the Freedom Festival for Juneteenth. And what they do is they disseminate the information to all of the organizations, the religious organizations in Westchester. We are still working on the other religious organizations so that they can be aware of what's occurring in Westchester as well. So all I can say is, within your communities, there's got to be some major religious organization that keeps everybody informed. So I would find that person or find that organization and partner with them to get your information out there as far as regarding Juneteenth.
That's the good news and the challenge. Does anybody want
Yes, it
to add
is.
to that conversation? Just because I know that it's come up in a few other communities as well.
You may just have to reach out to them personally as well. Call the various churches, find out who the communication person is, and you may not be as lucky to have one person in place who disseminates that information to all of the organizations.
So Teresa Blacklight has her hand up. What do you got, Teresa, please?
Yeah, two things that I wanted to mention. One, Carol, I did not hear you mention anything about that great save the date video that Westchester has put together.
You want to see it? It's
So
really cool.
yes, it really is. So
It's
if
right
folks have
here.
not seen
I could
that,
push it.
oh, that would be great. I think folks need to see that because we're definitely going to try and pick up on that. The other thing is, yes, in Phoenixville, we have a Phoenixville Area Clergy Association, and I agree with Carol, reach out to that type of organization and they disseminate the information to all of the churches in the area who's a part of that association.
Totally agree. Yeah, and it's a hard one if a community doesn't have that. So, yeah. Anybody else have something to add?
Thank you for the reflections on that. What we had a kind of a comment and a reflection in our group last week that this holiday, this Road to Freedom is an American holiday. And so the fact that you start with the Black churches and then invite all faiths to be a part of it is so important. And I think that's a message we have to give, because sometimes people have put it in a box and said it's a celebration for the Black community, and it's a celebration for all of us. So thank you for that. There are a couple of ministeriums in our area that I will try to reach out to. And did you give them a flyer to present at their churches? Did you give them information? What did you do with that piece?
Basically, what I did was we gave them the Juneteenth talking points. So if you need that,
would love
okay,
that.
great.
I think it's on the website.
Is
And
it?
if it's not, yeah, I'm just flipping through. Can you see the website?
Mm-hmm.
It says more resources. Oh, okay, Lily, we got another one to add. So we have Truth
We
Be
have the one.
Shown. What we're actually going to try to add to the website, and I would love it if y'all can help, is we have some really wonderful sermons that right now, one that Dr. Kyle Boyer gave a couple years ago on Juneteenth. And we'd like to be able to collect more. That way they can be sent out. And I don't know, Alex, if you'll be able to help do anything on that too. Plus Carol will add yours to talking points. So I think we can get something done electronically, and we can come up with some print versions as well to send around.
Yeah, absolutely. And the less is more. So basically what happened was I went to the Voices Underground website.
Yep.
Alex, which is amazing. That has been my go-to for pulling information, and we've discussed this already. But the questions are, what is Juneteenth? Why is it important? What is happening? Those are the bold questions. And then you can hit them and quit them. And then the big thing is, what is it? What's in it for me? And this is what I pulled from the Voices Underground. It's a time to celebrate community, unity, and understanding. Who doesn't want that at this terrible time, right? The importance of history of Juneteenth is vital to our healing as a community and as a country. We believe that our stories are most truly told not alone, but in open, patient collaboration with one another. Juneteenth should serve as a reminder that it is up to all of us to be part of the solution. Okay, so this piece is the talking points that you should send to anyone, and especially your religious organization, to include them in this American history. Okay.
So we'll get that on the website and then send it around. And again, if you all have examples, sometimes it works with it, Pastor, sometimes it doesn't. But I have to say, when it works, it's beautiful. Timmy, you have opinions, I would hope, on this?
Tell you what, I think Carol said it so well. I mean, I don't want to alter anything. I think that's the message. But to Joan's comment, we talked about this last week on the Kennedy call also, is that, yeah, we're talking about a portion of what happened to Black Americans, if you will, but that is American history also, and we need to represent it that way.
So thank you from Westchester, and we'll keep working through. You know what? How about we move over to Phoenixville? Do you,
Oh, thank you, Karen. But
Is
before
that
we forget,
okay?
is it possible to show the Save the Date video?
I'm sure-
Westchester?
Oh, yeah, let's find. So yeah, let me see what we got. All right, so the Save the Date video, we should be able to find if we go down here to what's happening when, and I think it was under, God, yes, it is possible.
If you go to any of your emails that I sent you,
Oh, you
you'll
don't want
find
there,
it.
honey.
You'll find it there.
I know it's on the, I wanted to be able to show it through the website. It's under the NAACP resources, I think. So under resources, learn more. And you know what? If Giselle and the NAACP are up for it, we really should. Oh, maybe it's Lily. Where do we put the link to the NAACP in Westchester? I bet is what it is.
Yeah, it's in the Westchester section and under Juneteenth.
Uh-huh. All right. But then this is where you all can help us figure out what's the best way to do this. Because
I don't think you're gonna.
you don't think
Yeah.
I'll find it on the
Yeah, you
page?
just did it.
Yeah.
There it is.
Where do you see it? Watch on YouTube. There we go. Sorry about that. Let's put that real. Nice, huh?
And I will put it in the chat as well, so you can watch it at your leisure.
And we'll just keep sending it around. And so, oh, sorry. It's not gonna stop now that I got that. So as we go through it, can you actually talk about, you also have a hip hop version, right?
Yeah, but we're not going to play that.
Right, so you have different versions that you're using for different things. which I think is
Audiences.
Great, yeah,
Mhm.
and we'll get it more widely done. And I think it's a wonderful thing and we should keep rolling with it. So thanks for asking for that, Teresa.
You're welcome.
You just wanted some good music, didn't you?
Yeah, and quite honestly, when the email came out and whatever day that Carol had responded to it, I immediately went to that and saw that and immediately disseminated to the Phoenixville Juneteenth and said, look at Westchester's, you know.
Good, so now we want to see what Phoenixville
Hey,
comes up with.
Teresa, do you want me to share my screen to show what you emailed me?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
What do
just-
you have? Good, because so right now this is what's on the website, but you have more, right?
She
Right.
wanted
so-
me to send
Good,
something
let's
for this meeting.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes, what
All
I'd
right.
like you to show is the document that I sent today. You know,
What a
just few minutes
concept.
ago.
Lily, you should be able to share. Is it coming through?
Yeah, I know.
No, you have to make me a host.
I'm trying. Sorry about that. There you go.
So what Lily is about to bring up, and I'll just put my face in here, and this is just the rough draft of the tentative thing that we put together. This is our order of events for Phoenixville. And like I had said, there are several of us who are on the planning committee. So a bunch of these things are people who have taken it upon themselves to talk with other businesses and things like that to see how they would like to participate. And this is the tentative schedule, and we're still working on adding additional things. So on Sunday, June 11th, we'll have a free showing of The Wiz at the Colonial, because it's the, I got to get that number right. It's like the 50th or 55th anniversary of The Wiz, some big milestone for The Wiz. On Thursday, June 15th, we're going to have a gospel concert that's followed by a free showing of Amazing Grace, the movie about Aretha Franklin. On the 16th, we're having our 70s party, Funkatorium, it's being called.
Oh, that's going to be so bad.
At the Colonial. And then on the Saturday, the 17th, we're having entertainment at Steel City, which is if you haven't been to Phoenixville, Steel City is a coffee house that offers live entertainment on a regular basis. So we just reached out to them and said, hey, what about having African American artists? And they agreed. So they're going to take care of that on Saturday. Then on Sunday is our schedule of events. And essentially, this is the tentative schedule again for what's going on and where on June 18th. We're having the majority of our things on the 18th. And as you see, we have, the magicians and we have drummers. We have a drum line coming in. Look, it's too small for me to even read, and I've forgotten. We have the drum line. We have magic shows. We have a jazz band coming. We have street theater. Then we're having a DJ for the entire day who's going to fill in the blanks and also be our MC. He's really, really great. Moshe Jenkins, if any of you have heard of him, he's really, really great. In Reed's and Company, which is a bookstore, we're having our storytellers and another magic show, primarily geared towards children, but adults, of course, are welcome. And then at the Colonial in White Rabbit, we have Randy Shine, a magician, and Millicent, if I'm not, Millicent Sparks, who's a Harriet Tubman impersonator, a storyteller. And then Juneteenth is on Monday. So we don't have anything scheduled on Juneteenth today, but we're trying to figure out everything to fill up the month of June with things leading up to our Juneteenth event on Sunday. And all of this stuff, once it gets, in its pretty form, right now it's pretty, it's just there. Once it's in its pretty form, we'll definitely send it to Karen and Lily to get posted on the website.
We'll post it, we'll forward promotions, we'll get stuff posted with Voices Underground and the tourism board. And it's an incredible, I like the way you use different shops downtown to divide up sort of some of your target markets a little bit too.
Right, exactly. And Jen, did I miss anything? I don't know if Keith has been able to make the call, but did I miss anything?
Teresa, I can't think of anything, so I think this is pretty good.
Okay, great. Great.
I
Anybody
love
have any
it.
questions?
How long has Phoenixville been doing Juneteenth since? When did you all start?
Well, it started back in 2000, I want to say 1 or 2, I forget the exact date, with Pam Dunn.
Right.
She was the one who started the first celebration, and there was a little parade and everything. Since then, Pam has passed, and after she passed, no one really picked it up and went with it. But beginning in 2020, actually in 2019, we started the planning for Juneteenth 2020 to have that be the comeback, the resurgence.
Right.
Of course, 2020 shot us down, but in 2021, we had a 7-day long virtual event, which was just epic. It was great to reintroduce Juneteenth festivals to the Phoenixville community, and then we've been doing it consistently since then. The core planners are Diversity in Action, Blacklight Projects, and Orion Communities. And then each year, we will reach out to different other organizations, like the Colonial this year is a part of the planning committee, and Forever Changes Record Store, Community Health Foundation, Phoenixville Community Health Foundation, Trellis for Tomorrow. And I think that's it. I hope I didn't miss anybody.
Oh, don't worry. There's going to always be more. You're doing a great job up there, and I'm so glad to see it's just regaining its just vibrancy all.
Yes.
Always.
And Karen, one other thing I want to mention, and I don't know if people on this call actually know about it, that Senator Dinniman is having, he has organized a Together Foundation, and he has gotten funding for it. And the whole purpose of that is to come up with new ways to try and fight racism in the country, just new ways, period. But he has a whole organization set up with it. Anyone is eligible to be a part of it if you're interested. And they're having their first event on April 22nd at Westchester University. They're calling it the gathering, first annual community gathering for diversity, equity, and inclusion, Saturday, April 22nd from 9 to 1. There'll be a dedication and breakout sessions to talk about things, and breakfast. They're providing breakfast as well.
We'll make sure and send it around to everybody, because Andy Dinniman in the Westchester University would really love as much inclusion as possible.
That's right.
It's just going to keep growing. So
That's right.
Yep.
Teresa, if you have a link for that, can you put it in the chat?
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm trying to see the link. Do you have it, Teresa?
I'll have to find it.
It's
I mean, I have it for sure.
WCUfoundation.org.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll put a link on the page too and send it out. Good. So let's keep going around the county. Coatesville, do we? Lily, can you share the screen on Coatesville, or do you want to share it back on the website?
Don't do that, because we look really bad at the
No,
Westchester and
Nadine.
Phoenixville.
You guys sent us some stuff, and I think Vincent's on the phone too.
Oh, oh, here it is. Oh, we didn't know this.
Hey, you see it?
Yes.
Okay, Lily's sharing. So we took the notes. Yep, there you go. So this is what we have so far, and we just loaded it on this morning because this is when we found it. Lily, can you make it a little bigger? See, I told you, Nadine, you're looking better.
Thank you, Vincent.
Anna's on the phone.
Yeah, thank you, Vincent.
And Vincent, yeah. And now Lily, move it up there. I love it. Keep going. I think the slide on the bottom left is going to give you the overview that you want. There you go. So Anna or Nadine or Vincent, who'd like to speak to Coatesville?
I think Vincent should, or Donna if she's on. But
No, Donna couldn't come on, so Vincent.
no, I think she is on.
I
Oh,
see
she
you,
did.
Vincent.
Yeah, I just came back in. I was talking to one of our assistant managers. But how's everybody doing? Hello,
Doing good,
hello.
Vincent.
Good, hi.
All right, good. I just see Donna just hopped on. How you doing, Miss Donna?
I'm good. I'll just piggyback on anything, but I'm sure you can fill them in as where we're at, Vincent. Okay? Because I'm in the car.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, no, I'll be real brief with it. we met with the NAACP here in the city. I can't really see
Lily, bring the bottom one up higher and
the
bigger.
presentation.
Bottom one.
I think you guys may have switched it up a little bit from what I sent in, but it's fine.
We tried to put it all on one page so that
Oh,
one at the bottom left is all your slides on one page.
okay.
So Lily, move the
Yeah.
bottom up higher. I know you can. And now can you make it bigger, Lily? There you go, Vincent. We just were trying to get your talking points on one page.
Yeah. So yeah, so our main objective was to pretty much convene, get everyone in the same room. We had the Coatesville Historic Commission, NAACP, as you see, myself and the city manager. So to make that connection with the NAACP and Historic Commission, I think was key to really putting this all together for Coatesville. So I will right into our current objectives. In the meeting when we met on April 4th, that was the first time we all got together and put our heads together for this event. Our whole thing was to pretty much redo what Greater Deliverance did with their Blast from the Black Past. So they pretty much highlighted a lot of African American history in Coatesville. So shout out to Greater Deliverance Church.
Nice.
We're looking to talk to them and get some synergy going with them to highlight the different ones like W.C. Atkinson and other figures within Coatesville. So the third bullet point, we intend to also do the quote project that we spoke on and in earlier conversations. We're working things out with the Coastal Library and the school district to get that going. And for the next bullet point, you see that we have an event that's focusing on the Dairy / Hutchinson Church Cemetery, which the images on the side kind of entails. It's a little cut off, but that one is a map of the area back in, I want to say 1960. I mean, I'm not 1960, 1860, but I forget the actual name name of the map, but it's fine. But if you look at the top corner, it's a little cut off. I know you tried to fit it all in, but that's just a LiDAR shot and the parcel information that we collected with Jeff Deacon and the Historical Commission of the location of the cemetery. So that LiDAR shot really highlights where, that cemetery was. It's going to be too big of a project for us to really get the location clean and really do some good excavation of the location. So we figure we just hold it off and maybe just do an event at the Hutchinson Church that what is the word? Commemorate. I can't even say it.
Yeah.
Commemorate. Thank you. To commemorate the location because the Dairy Church actually migrated to the Hutchinson over time. So we wanted to highlight that story. And yeah, so from there, we wanted to do a lantern walk with the. I'm sorry.
I like the lantern
Yeah,
walk idea.
This,
Is that being cut off by me?
yeah, is that me or is that somebody else?
Donna. I think it's Donna trying to drive in. Donna, we can't hear you. You're breaking up. You're in a bad zone for talking. Sorry. Nope. She'll keep driving, Vincent, and then she'll be able to break in.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, so we wanted to kind of plan a lantern walk with the Hutchinson Church and really teach the community the significance of the lantern and the logo. And then do probably someone doing poetry while we walk from the Hutchinson, which is probably like a block and a half away from Abdallah Park. We'll do some poetry, some singing spirituals and stuff like that, walking there to really highlight that time period of Juneteenth. So Yeah, that's pretty much all we had. Once they walk from the lantern, once they go from that area to the Abdallah Park, we will have like a main celebration where we would have music, food, and more conversation on Juneteenth. So we didn't really um go into detail with it, but it was just good to have everybody in the same room and planning. So I wish Miss Donna was able to speak on some more. I see Miss Anna Bond here. Miss Nadine, how y'all doing?
Good, good.
Good.
I think,
Good.
If y'all wanna touch on some things, I'm kind of shooting from the hip here.
no, I think you covered mostly everything that we've been talking about. I don't, from earlier conversation with the quilting um event, I don't know that it's going to work because that had to have been done a lot earlier. I spoke with the Coatesville Library and they're not able to work that in now. And I don't think the organization that started is able to get us in this year anyway. But we may still do something else with that along those lines on our own. But we were also talking about a flag raising event. Donna might have been trying to speak on that. And yeah, as far as the cemetery goes, we talked about doing a little dedication to some of the gentlemen that we know were buried in that cemetery, if I'm not mistaken. Vincent, that's prior to moving to Abdallah Park, because Hutchinson has a real elaborate history of the cemetery and the people who were buried there. So I think the idea is to get some of that history before the lantern walk to Abdallah. And then I think at the park, if we still can get it worked out, I think, yeah, we're planning to have, music and dance and, all the things similar to what we did last year for our festival in the park. And I think that's where we end it.
I think you got a great framework that you're putting together, and I'm glad that you're able to do it. I'm looking forward to it. And I know you got more meetings coming up, but you've still laid out a beautiful framework, and next steps will come. Good.
All right, thank
So
you.
much. Thank you.
you.
Appreciate this, what you're doing. Beautiful. So I think we have the Southern Chester County. We did, Westchester, Phoenixville, Coatesville, Southern Chester County. Kennett, Lily, you want to bring up the Kennett plan that we had as of yesterday, which was probably already changed, so who do we have in Southern Chester County? We got Joan Holiday, we got Michael Hahn, who's running on another meeting. You got a poster, and you're going to send it out. Thank you. Joe, Amanda, Lily, can you pull up the Kennett, what's on there? Yeah, can people see Joe? Joe, Amanda, Lynn, who wants to go over what's going on with Kennett Juneteenth?
Well, I'll volunteer this. We're new to this call, so I'm feeling pretty shameful. I'm going to steal some ideas that I saw from Coatesville.
How about replication is the sincerest form of flattery?
Yeah, I'm inspired. No, in all seriousness, we can do better than this, and we will. We had a very informative meeting. I'm speaking on behalf of Amanda and myself with respect to the Kennett Library. The event that happened last year was incredibly successful. I had nothing to do with it. Let me put that out there. And so the idea is that it's going to be replicated as much as it can be, because it worked and it was well received. The there was a family, Bella Hanson and her mother, Sophia, who were deeply involved and responsible. They are not going to be part of this year. So we've got
Because they're going to be with the Chicago Cubs.
Hey, the Bulls, the Chicago
Bulls. Oh, sorry, I don't know my teams.
So we can't begrudge them that. They've got opportunities, and God bless them. But we are going to, the library is going to fill that hole, and there is an event planned for the Anson B. Nixon Bandstand, and we're thinking that kicks off sometime around 11 a.m. with another version of a slam poetry event. And we've got some things to do there, but we're inspired, and I'm sure we can put something excellent together. And I am just speaking because I didn't hear anyone else speak. I am by no means in charge of this at all. That said, Leon Spencer, who everyone in town loves, he's our mayor for life. He is.
You won't tell Matt that.
Matt understands. Matt totally understands. Leon is getting together a community choir, and they're hoping to take the stage at 1 p.m. Because of the musicians and some of the equipment. We need to plan for a rain date in the event that we have inclement weather. So we're going forward with the idea that it's going to be nice and everything can be in the park. So what you see there, I can speak about the 11 a.m. and it, hopefully it goes through till about 1:45 when the choir will end. And then I'm happy to kick it over to
And Lynn's on the call.
Yeah,
Lynn,
exactly.
Can you speak to, can you help us with the, what's going on with,
yeah, sure.
Heritage Center and Underground Railroad?
Yeah, so
Thanks,
we're starting on the 11th with a talk by Ken Johnston, who's he's going to talk about his walk from Cambridge, Maryland to St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, along the I think he's calling it Tracing the Steps of Harriet Tubman on her journey to freedom. So that's on June 11th. And then we will, do our best to promote what's coming up on the following weekend on the 17th, which again starts with Ken Johnston leading a walk of probably, I was trying to fill out the Eventbrite form last night, limiting it to possibly 20 people for the walk. You have to take into consideration walking down sidewalks and paths, and also being able to hear somebody speak over what can sometimes be really loud traffic of motorcycles, trucks, and stereo systems. So that's just a small event. Not sure what the audience will be on that, but we'll do our best to promote that and get that filled at 20 people. Skipping over what Joe just talked about, the slam poetry event. And then all the way down to, I'll speak for the Kennet Underground Railroad. Debbie Burston, a member of that board, offered to have some of their people guide. I don't know whether it's guiding people or staging people along the walkway to get them up to Union Street, where the Kennet Friends Meeting House is, where Dr. Cheryl Gooch and the 54th Massachusetts reenactors will be doing a combination presentation. Dr. Gooch will speak first. Some of her subject matter talks about the Massachusetts 54th, but it's more localized based on the research she did for her book, The Hinsonville Heroes. And then in all this time that we have at the before and after the presentation, the Massachusetts 54th will have on display their artifacts, their books, their photographs, and be there to just talk in general, open discussion on, the participation of this first volunteer Black infantry regiment. And then I guess well, that was, I guess that's it for what the Heritage Center is doing. And the Underground Railroad Center is giving, offering a bus tour of Underground Railroad sites on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m.
Yeah, and then the other parts is we're trying to work between Joan and Leon and everybody about trying to get the message out to the religious organizations throughout the Kennet region. And it's a little different than in the other parts of the county, it seems, but we'll get there. And actually, I think that Michael Hahn had to leave.
He did.
But, yeah, the Kennet Flash is doing an open mic, which the Mayor for Life, Leon Spencer, is leading with his Side 2 performing group, as well as just bringing in all kinds of folks to talk up and to do the open mic about the journey toward freedom. And so we're also making sure that the Voices Underground events are within here so that we're not overlapping and trying to coordinate with what Voices Underground is doing at Longwood Gardens and at Lincoln University as well. So it's in progress, right? But it's a progress. Yeah, yeah. Lily, can you go back and just put on the overarching website of the different tours, the different places? And it is a little bit after 12 o'clock, and we like to kind of be respectful of people's time. But it seems like this coordination thing is actually working. We're getting some ideas from throughout Chester County, sharing some designs. If anybody needs designs, the Westchester folks started a banner, which we've now handed over to Kennet. So if Kennet wants roads and street signs and all that, the logos are online as well. Yeah, the coordination seems to be working so that we at least can go to different events if you really wanted to do throughout the land. Questions, comments, observations?
Karen, can I? Yes. So I'm from People's Light, which is in Malvern,
which covers the whole county. I didn't give the whole county stuff. Yeah.
So we are actually working with Voices Underground to present a 15-minute version of our Bayard Rustin piece, and we're trying to figure out some venues that make sense. I'm not quite sure how to do that, but Alex will probably continue to talk to you about that. The other thing I want to say is we have been talking here.
Wait, Lee, when you say venues that make sense, you mean to do like one in Westchester, one in Phoenix?
Exactly. And
like
also
one at the History Center with Connor Hepp, one in Kennet on the stage at the band.
This is great news, Lee. Thank you so much for this. That's 15 minutes. That is awesome. Awesome.
Well, and thank you for that. I think to Karen, to your suggestions, yes, we're trying to figure out, there is the possibility that we could do 2 or even 3 versions of this throughout the county. And then the question is what the timing would be. You know, we wouldn't want to conflict with with big events. We would
want to be able to fit it into the schedule there.
Exactly. So that's something that we are trying to figure out now. I'm not sure who would be the best person to coordinate with. And if you have any suggestions, I'd be very grateful for that.
You can coordinate with me too. This is Carol Weaver. I would love to coordinate with you for Westchester.
Let's coordinate with Carol for Westchester. With
Lee, you have my number.
Yes.
Okay.
And Teresa from Phoenixville.
Teresa
from Phoenixville, yes.
Oh, from Phoenixville. Great. All right.
Kennet with me and Joe, I'm thinking, and Lynn, because I think we could fit you on the bandstand. Yeah, it'd be beautiful on the bandstand. So
I'm not a production person, so I can't say yes, that will work. But I want to get the people together so that we can figure this out.
Vincent, do you think in Coatesville too? Is that where your hand's up, sir?
I'm sorry.
I see your hand up, and I see Teresa's hand up. I didn't know you.
Oh no, mine was for a different one. I just wanted to know if I can get the logos. Where can I find the logos?
Yep, Lily will email stuff directly to you. Plus, we'll just put them on there so that you can pull them off.
All righty, thank you.
Got that, Lily?
And I have, I think I have
Yeah, I
some,
heard that.
I think I have some of this information. I'll need to get some emails. Let me
We're gonna
put
give
mine-
them to you, Lee. We'll send them
Great.
all over to you because this is a beautiful opportunity to discuss.
Yes, and the other thing I want to say is we've been trying to figure out other ways to support all of the events that are going around. And what I'd like to do is to say to our community, here are places that need volunteers. So, so that too would be a great thing for us to share in our social media. And we'd also like to do an signal boosting if we can. You know, so these are offers and suggestions, and I just want to make sure that we, you know, that we are talking to the right people about these things.
It's great.
Yay, this is good.